Hello everybody, how you doing? Welcome to this week's live stream. Now, in a curious twist, we are live, meaning we're unedited, and from start to finish, what you're watching now, there'll be no breaks. However, we are recording this a day early. Why I hear you scream? Well, the temperatures here in the UK are frantically high. We are in a bit of a heat wave, and we're not quite sure what the temperatures are going to be like as you're watching this now on Wednesday evening. So we're doing this 24 hours earlier because we've had a little break in the weather. There's cloud overhead, so the temperatures have just remained a little bit stable. So we've whizzed into the studio to record you the most brilliant, brand new, groundbreaking live stream. But right now, we're going to roll the intros. And welcome back everyone. Now, albeit that we've got a small break in the weather, like I said, it's still about 34 degrees in here, so it's a bit of a scorcher. Tomorrow and the rest of the week could be well into the 40s here in the studio. So we've got lots of fans on, I'll be hydrating, we've got AD sat out in control, pushing all the buttons and making the broadcast possible. And don't forget guys, I am sat at a computer somewhere, answering all your messages and questions. So please do ask as many as you possibly can. And if you're watching this on catch up or on replay, please do drop us a comment. And also if you've got any questions then, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Okay, right, let's get going. We're doing a quick systems check. We know that corner cam is working okay. Buddy, give us a camera. Let's do PTZ. Boom, hello, that's our slidey cab. I'm going to remain motionless so you can see what I mean. I can't stop moving for long, can I? There we go. So we know that camera's working a-okay. Let's do a spin around and welcome you to overhead. Hello. So that's all good. And finally, my favourite and yours is a roam cam. Boom. And this is where we're heading right now. Let's take you right into the thick of the action and show you what's happening. Well, for those of you that were here watching the last stream, you might have seen us do the most amazing tilt and pan spin painting. Now, what can I possibly tell you? We've changed things up again. Can you see a slight difference in the shade between the top and the bottom? Let me walk you through what's going to happen tonight, because oh my goodness, hang on to everything, run and tell the authorities we've put some drain pipe right in the middle of the canvas, which is going to give us a hump. So interestingly now this evening folks, look at that. We're going to be sending the painting up and over. Nobody knows what's going to happen, especially when we pull things back to the horizontal. All kind of manner of things might be happening. So we're going to get very, very busy with that in a matter of seconds. That's the canvas. We've never, ever tried it before, folks. So we're going to have a go with this particular stream. It's very, very exciting. We've got a really nice, cool selection of colours. Now, because it's so warm here, we thought we'd get things cooled down a bit. We're going ocean inspired. Okay, so we've got lots of blues, we've got some Pantone colours, we've got Rowells, we've got all kinds of things here. We've got some lovely greens as well to complement that. Everybody's favourite will be some of the Queen's Gold, Your Majesty. And we might finish off with some black and white to define some of those areas. So if you're ready, I hope you've got a cold one ready, because it's very, very warm. We're going to pop that back on the stand. And we are going to get going. Right, I'm going to straighten this up. So I'll ask AD if that looks reasonably straight to you, buddy. That's pretty good. So without that falling down, I'm just going to grab my essential tool, my adjustable spanner. Oh, there it goes, nearly went. Now, if you've not seen one of our broadcasts before, well then welcome. It's great to have you on board. This is live, it is unedited, so anything can happen in the next 45 minutes or hour or so. Now, even though we're recording this the day before, there's nothing edited about this. This is completely live. So every word I utter and every ounce of paint I put on the canvas, this is not rehearsed. This is absolutely how it happens. Now, right now, I fancy a drop of blue, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So if we're all ready for the very first time on the broadcast, Aidy's got the shot. I'll try not to knock myself out. And here we go. Let's get some blue on. We're going to start with the stripes. And who knows what's going to happen when it goes over the bump and back down the other side. But I guess we're about to find out, folks. We're going to find out together. There it goes. There it goes. We're reaching the crest. I don't know. Perhaps you can suggest what to call that. Now, we've tried to tension the canvas as much as possible. Here it goes. Here it goes. Now, I can't see what's happening now. You can, but I can't. So, I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to quickly run. I say run. Walk gingerly around the other side. Right, so we've definitely got it moving. That's good. I'm happy with that. Let's get the next one on. Okay, now the beauty of this technique is, of course, I can move around, because the eagle-eyed amongst you might notice, or have seen before, that this table also spins. So it might come as no shock to understand that actually I can turn this around and I can apply a paint from the other side. And I'm hopeful we got opportunity to do that. So we're just going to gently tease. Now Aidy and I were having this conversation about quantities of paint and whether it should be thinned. And you know what? Let's just get the paint on. We can worry about how thick or thin all that is as time goes on, because I am going to be using a lot of thinners. So we've got that to look forward to. That's coming up. While we get these early applications of paint going up and over the ridge. Now this blue is a little bit thinner, so it is going to start to move a little bit faster. We're going to be able to see now if it's going to play catch up or not. So I'm going to get that one there. While that one's running, let's get another one in. And now it'll be a race to see which one goes over the crest and which one ends up at the bottom first. I don't know how much paint's going to come off the other side. We haven't thinned anything yet. Can't be afraid. Look, see, this blue stopped up here already. Now, it was fairly thick. I haven't put a huge volume on. And of course, the faster I pour, the wider this is going to get, but that's okay. That's okay. A lot of this paint is going to wash off when we start attacking it with the thinners. So I'm going to continue to get this paint out into these large applications. Right, so where have we gone? That's gone off a little bit. That's not too bad. So that's almost that one gone already. Now then, which is the one that's not moving? Let's get some more of that out. Okay, because we need this one. This is a beautiful royal blue. Gorgeous, gorgeous colour. I think it's a Pantone shade, actually. It's rather thick, as we are getting towards the end of the can. Still waiting for my supplier to bring our exciting new paint delivery to us. So this is very much like treacle, isn't it? Let's give it, oh, look at that, all the way down. Isn't that nice? Let's get that over the crest. That's all we want to do. I think this one's going to be taking its time. I should be running a sweepstake on which one's going to get to the bottom first, shouldn't I? Right, okay, so we've got a slightly looser one here, and we want to go in with the blues. Oh, no, I can't see what's happening. I can't really rotate the table because my lines are going to change. So let's get this one here. We're going to do 2 or 3 more this side. And then we're going to start to introduce from the other side. And we're going to give it a rotate. So let's see how far we can tease these blues down. Love the effects of gravity. And of course now I can see it all falling off on the other side, which is great. So I've got to be fairly quick now. I want to go in with one of the greens. We're going to go in with one of the greens. This one needs a little mix. Not the band, obviously. Right, let's just do that a little bit. There's only enough now for one application of this. So we're going to see if I can tease this down. Now, this is good because most of it's starting to run off at the other end, which is what we want. Now, we may have lost the overhead camera just very slightly there. So if you did see a blank screen, hopefully that's come back. Okay. There we go, just getting the green down here. Just a little tizzle. Now, this probably isn't going to feature too much as things go on. But that's going down quite nicely, so we'll let that have its have a little play. And then we'll pop some greens on, and then we're going to start to move it around a little bit. Okay. Right, so we're going to pop the green on there. Here we go with a lime. That's really going to pop. Let's get plenty of that on. We're not scared of the paint today. We just want to get it on. There it goes, all the way down. Now, please feel free to ask questions, guys. I am on the chat. So I'll be really looking forward to your feedback and saying hello to everybody. So I think it's a little bit different this week. But we couldn't miss a week without giving you guys something great to look at. So that's why we're doing this. We were having a chat earlier about what we can do. And while we've got the pan and spin table in here, I thought, ooh, what can we do? So we thought about putting something in the centre of it and seeing what happens. Now, of course, can you imagine what would happen if we did that with multiple bumps in it? That could be pretty cool, couldn't it? Yeah, I think we'll have to do that as well. But this is good. Look, it's starting to go. I haven't yet had to rely on the thinners yet, which is a good thing. There's plenty of colour going on. There's some real nice colours, those. I'm just going to get one of the other colours called water blue opened. Maybe a couple more on, and then we're going to give it a rotate. And just as the line falls off, there's the first lime reaching the bottom. Happy days. So we'll get this one on. This is water blue. Right, so they're all starting to come down now, which is good. Now this should come down fairly quickly. Ooh, yeah, lots of paint going on there. Happy days. And I think let's get one of those there. Really nice balance of colours going on. Now we're on the all camera shot. One of my favourite shots, that. Go on, water blue, off you go. And I think we've got room to have one of those down here. And I think that should be somewhere maybe there. Right, there we go. Off you go, all the way down. Lovely. Okay, we'll give that an opportunity. Oh, that's good. I can see it all falling off at the bottom. Lovely. It's a good job I got a catch canvas, isn't it? There it all goes, guys. I like it. Looking good. Looking good. Right, let's give you a look at that on Roam Cam if you would like to switch me over, buddy. And there we go. Look, here it goes. Oh, which one's going to get there? That one or that one? Oh, it's a race. No, I think. Yes. Oh, that's gone first. Then we're going to go. Yes, here we go. There it is. Look. There's the excess. Beautiful. Now we're forming some really nice shapes up there. I'm not too worried about the random green one up there, because we're going to send all this going hurtling backwards in just a moment. But this is good. I'm liking that. Part Roam Cam back there for a second. I'm going to pop that just in so you can get a shot of it there. Now we're starting to get a few meeting each other, which is good. There's two more I just want to pop on before we turn it. I've got a secondary blue here, which is an absolutely immense, gorgeous thing. Really cool, really rich. And right, I know where that's got to be, so we're going to pop that into a cup. And I'm going to get two more blues on, and then we're going to give it a rotate. And then we're going to start featuring the gold and the black and the white. And I might have one or two other interesting tones to put on. So we're going definitely, there's a definite sort of cool tropical vibe going on at the moment. Let's get that other blue on there. This should come down fairly quickly. Let's get that one there. And I think, yeah, we need to kind of do something here, don't we? Green's decided to go on its holidays, off on its own direction, so let's get that sorted out. There'll be elements of that come through as we start with the thinner, so I'm not worried about that at all. Gradually building up these pores, letting gravity do its business. Nice. And it's all going to change very, very quickly, guys. You know by now, if you've seen these, whoop, straight over my hand. If you've seen the streams before, things can go very, very, change very, very quickly, almost in the blink of an eye. You know, it's kind of where we're going to be with this very shortly. This is lovely. This is the absolute pure, to me, this is the purest form of paint application. It's just letting gravity and nature do its thing. Pop one down there, and then that'll do before we turn it. Nice. Okay, so that's still coming off. There's 5 or 6 strips at the bottom, which is great. just going to quickly change my gloves. Got some paint on my hands. Give me 1 second, everybody. Now, if we can whiz on to corner cam, buddy, for a second. I'm going to just center on that drip just for a second. Oh, exciting, isn't it? Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you would have noticed, oh, look what I'm wearing. That's rather nice, isn't it? An all-over Suarez t-shirt. Well, for the first time ever, we've got these on sale on our merch store. Aidy's going to pop a link to that. No, I will pop a link to it. Just got to think ahead a little bit into the messages. But we'll pop it to you on screen now. Okay, front and back, I've got all my technical stuff underneath it. Stapled literally to my chest. Ow, it's kind of digging it a little bit, but hey, who cares? But look at that, it's a very hot day, and I must admit, it's extremely comfortable to wear. You too could be the proud owner of one. There we go, on the screen right now. I'll pop a link to it into the chat. There'll also be one down in the description as well. Why not just go treat yourself? Okay, right, fantastic, guys. So I'm going to get some more gloves on. Now, if you are enjoying this, please do give us a thumbs up. That would be awesome. Thank you so much, because it tells the YouTube bots and the AI that you're enjoying this, and it might just encourage others to see this on their timeline as well. Thank you, that would be amazing. And also, if you're not already a subscriber, and I'm sure there's plenty of new people watching as well this evening, well, first of all, welcome. It's great to have you here. We're going to rotate that in just a second, but please do hit that subscribe button, click on the bell icon. You're never ever going to miss anything, especially when we do our pop-ups. And let's be honest, with our crazy world, you don't want to miss any of that. And we've also got lots of our Patreons here as well watching the broadcast. Welcome aboard, everybody. Now, those lucky people have got their free Patreon tiles. I'm sorry, Ed, what are you talking about? Well, our patrons do get a wonderful original tile, and that's one of 102 that we've created especially to give away to our patrons. And if you would like to find out how to claim yours completely free, then follow the link to Patreon, which I will put into the messages. And after the broadcast, you can go and click the link in the description and follow that, and it will show you exactly how you can get one as well. Brilliant. Well, let's rotate the table. Here we go. Right, we're going to flatten that out. Now, this is the interesting bit. Aidy and I were talking about this earlier, that when we finish the painting, do we leave it and leave it to sort of do that, or do we center it? What do we do? I mean, this could get very interesting. I'm sure there'll be plenty of you thinking, what if you just did it 90 degrees Ed, instead of 180? Well, there's that as well, isn't there? I mean, now there's all kinds of directions you could take this in. So for now, oh, nearly went. I need to get in at the top, so yeah. I'm just going to ask Aidy, does that look reasonably straight to you, dude? Reasonably sort of levelish, I should say, you know.
Looks pretty good.
Okay. All right, let's tighten that up, because I need this to kind of maintain. All right, just making sure that what's keeping the drain pipe where it is still stuck down. Yes, it is. Because the last thing we need is for that to start moving, let's be honest. Right, okay, let's get some paint on in the other direction now. We're going to go in with Queen's Gold, which is super exciting. But the first one I'm going to add in is some black lines. Now, this is always where the fun starts. Okay, but I'm going in black now because we are going to be lightening this up with the white as time goes on. All right, so it's just figuring out the back side of it here. That's fine. Now, can I actually see? Oh, it's very close, but yeah, I can just about see. Right, here we go. No, this is not level. That's level. There we go. That's better. That's better. It's so tricky to see what's level and what isn't when you're working at these crazy angles. I think that might be better. It's really tricky. Really tricky. I mean, I'm so close now. I almost can't see. But we're okay. We're okay. Right, so Aidy will have that somewhere where you can see. Let's go for another one there. We may do a shout out to see what the colour you want, but of course with us doing this 24 hours beforehand, it's not going to work. I just realised that as I was uttering the sentence. Oh, Ed, let's put orange on. Can't. We've pre-recorded this. It's an almost live stream, isn't it? That's what it is. I think we've done one of those before. Okay, marvellous. Right, we're going straight in with the Queen's Gold, folks. Now, the Queen's Gold is rather thick, so it's going to need some coaxing, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's just go for it and see what happens, all right? Let's just start and get it on. It'll figure itself out. It'll be a bit of a slow burner, this one. All right, but that's no big deal. Oh, so difficult trying to find my lines when the aid is just trying to get the camera to focus. All right, let's pump some of that on there. Now, I have got a get out of jail card if I need it, but I'm not going to use that now. Okay, all is good so far. All is good, friends. Right, I'm just going to grab... I've not disappeared. I've not gone on my holidays or anything. I'm just going to steal a bit of canvas from out of the corner here. Okay, because as AD correctly predicted earlier on, I am getting some blobs falling off at the back, so that's really just to protect me. Okay, let's have a walk around the front. Let's see where we're at. Right, things starting to happen. So I'm going to give it the first Thinners spray. And then we're going to get some white on. And then we're going to see what happens after that. And we're going to start to introduce a few more tones. There we go. It's just starting to happen. Apologies for walking in front of the camera. Okay, so next up we're going to drop some cream in. Give ourselves a breather just for a second. It's just going to add a little drop of warmth in. Let's see if I can find my spot. So we'll just start to warm this up a little bit. All right. Oh, let's see if we can get that back level again. Okay, right. So how are we doing over the hump? Well, so far, that's not bad. Right, we'll get one in there, definitely. And I think we need one, yeah, one there. Let's go for that. Ooh. Let's go for one there. I'm having to lean on it now, which is quite weird. Okay, that's that, that's fine. Now the canvas is 170 centimeters square, so we will be looking at a finished size of 150 square by the time it is stretched and round its frame. So now look, we can work on a few of these ones that sort of don't want to move. We're having a few difficulties. There we go. Look, just give that. There we go. A little bit of a tickle. Now, of course, when we go back the other way, things are going to start to get even more interesting. Okay, so I've got the white ready. The white is going to go on, and I'm tempted to put an accent colour on, just one accent colour, and I'm just really now sort of in two minds as to what it should be. I'm really tempted to go for yellow, to be honest. I'm not. I mean, that would make it very, very summery, wouldn't it? Let's just get a drop more lime on from this direction while we're at it. So let's have one there, because the lime is really fresh, isn't it? I mean, it's a beautiful colour. And let's get one on. Whoa, nearly went. See, we're on the edge, folks. We're on the edge. Perilous. Right, I'm going to try and keep that. I can see some pouring off the end, which is great. And then let's get some lime down here. You've all got a much better view of this than I have. I've got the most bizarrest view. It's actually quite difficult to really manage properly. Okay, but gradually we are getting there. This is good. This is good. Now it looks just like a bunch of lines at the moment. Now we've got the middle line splitting, so let's sort that out. There it goes. Come on. Okay, let's give that a little bit of a nudge in the right direction, shall we? This is where I've got to try and tease. This is where I've got to try and sort the physics out. There we go. Up over the ridge. Come on, gold. You can sort it out. Off you go. Here comes the line this side. That's good. We're teasing it. Right. Might even give it some special sauce. Who knows? Can't take a poll because it's not live. Okay, that's fine. Oh, now we've got a little lump of something. Let's get rid of that. Onto the floor it goes. Floor's looking pretty awesome as well. I'll show you that in a minute. Right, let's really encourage that. There we go. Let's get it all moving. Here we go. That's what we want, isn't it? Let's get all of this paint moving, moving, moving. That's what we want. Okay, so I am going to run that just down a little bit. See if we can get a slight more angle on it. Encourage it. It's still running off on the bottom, which is excellent. The gold is still taking its time, but that's okay. Now I'm also looking at the tension of it. The tension looks pretty good so far. Okay, good. So let me figure out what we need to do next. Now we've got a few gaps, so I need to deal with the gaps, which is fine. Look what's happening already to where the cream meets the black, and we're starting to get these beautiful kind of runoffs. And this is the kind of effect that I want. So we're going to work now on some of those gaps. And it is at this stage extremely tempting to add some different colours. So you know what? I'm going to ask my colleague if he would like a little drop of purple. Mate, would you like a little drop of purple?
Yes. Purple. Purple.
I thought you might say that. Right, let's straighten it out a little bit. So I'm going to slightly change things now because I want to see where this is going quite carefully. So let's see how well I can place the purple. And then we'll go with the first one here. And there is a lump, but the lump will come off. I'm not worried about that. This is okay here. Let's pop one in towards the end because I'm going to straighten it back up in a minute. And then when these have disappeared and done their own thing, yeah, it doesn't matter about the blobs. I'll pick the blobs off. And then we'll have one more here. There we go. Let's get that on. And then I'm also, now this is where it gets a bit controversial, I'm also extremely tempted to put on some yellow. Now, some melon. What do we think? Some melon. I'm thinking maybe I could just get away with that. Just get away with that, like a little horizon line. Let's have a little look, shall we? Right, purple's coming down nicely. I'm going to straighten that up in just a minute. And I think what we could do here is have a few very, very subtle ones going this way. Not a lot. So I'm going to follow it down the canvas as much as I dare. That one is a nice one. And I think we should have another one here. Holding my breath. Come on, you can do this. Whew. Oh, I say. Right. Okay. So far, so good. Now we've got some purple lumps to deal with. And then we're going to upend this a little bit. So where's my lumps? My lovely purple lumps. And I've got one in the middle. Yes, that's a big one. Let's get rid of that. I've got paint on my arm. I've got to get rid of that. Right, so let's get that onto the floor. Was that the one in the middle? Oh, the yellow's on its way. The yellow is on its way. Oh, and I got one here, yeah. Yeah, that purple's nice. Actually, this is a really nice, very kind of, ooh, kind of palette. So let's straighten that up a little bit. And let's get the gloves off. Just got to get this off my arm and we'll give you a Roam Cam look. Now, let me know if you want to have a look on Roam Cam. I'm sure you do, because some of those strips are really starting to come up now. Just try and get rid of this off my skin. Second, guys. I don't really want to be the canvas, if I can help it. 2 seconds. Okay, that's better. Right, so things are starting to happen now. Things are starting to find their own level. Oh my goodness me, yes they are. Might have to give that another little spray in just a second because we're going to send it back the other way. So whilst I give you a look on Roam Cam, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to spray that. Yeah. Which purple are you on, buddy? Okay. Yeah. I won't step in front of it then. Just asking AD which cameras we're on. Trying not to step in front of anything. Right, so there we go. Let's get the gloves back on, and we're going to have a look on roam cams as things are starting to happen now, folks. Don't want to miss any of that. Right, fresh gloves. Okay, and roam cam. Let's go have a look. So it's going to be fun, isn't it, to figure out whether that has made a big difference. I guess the tube over the centre, there's lots of things that will make a difference. I guess is whether we pull this down a little bit over the tube. We decided to go for a tight stretch over the tube, but I guess when it goes back level again and it falls, we'll actually see that in the centre, because at the moment we won't necessarily see it. But of course, all we're doing, we want to try and get the canvas covered as much as possible. Now, a lot of these are starting to mix with each other, which is of course exactly what we want, which is really cool. So I think while I've got roam cam, let me do a rotate. Here we go. Nice and gently does it. Very tempting, isn't it, to change it now completely and let it run this way. well, that's where we might have to run a poll, mightn't we, at some point and see. But I think that's a good shot. You can really see that. Yeah, that's fine, buddy. Yeah, I know the yellow's going. I want it to mix anyway. We'll just get that paint moving, and here we go. Right, so that look, you see it was mixing. See what's happened to the yellow? Deliberate, because now we're going to give that a spray and send it back the other way, and you watch what happens. Okay, as it starts to take the paint the other way, because we still haven't finished. We're still going to get more paint on. Let me just have a quick look this way. Make sure that's roughly about level-ish. Happy with that. We got rid, I can just see a tiny bit more of skin I need to get rid of. All right, so the other thing I'm considering as well, folks, is to pop some sprinkles, some sort of metallic powders on it, which could be quite interesting. So, I'm not ruling that out. Everybody loves shiny things. I'm not ruling that out. That could be very interesting. You can't mix them with the paint, because the paint just eats them. So I'd have to go on kind of towards the end and just sort of run off. But I think that could be really interesting. Okay, we just refilled the thinners. So now we've turned it again. I'm not sure if this is third or fourth rotation. Okay, so I'm going to give that a little spray. Okay, here we go. Let's go in with the yellow and see what happens. Let's encourage that. So now the gold's coming the other way. And of course, what this also does, it pops a coating of thinners onto the canvas that doesn't yet have the paint on it. So as I now go back over this, we're going to see that really start to develop. Okay, because there are a few bits now that just need paint. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to infill those now. That should really start to move now. Those lines are really going to be prevalent. That's looking really nice. And remember the one color we had of the green through the mid offset, that's come back now, which I knew it would do. Okay, so let me figure out what's going to be next. Right, I need to put some white together, so we are going to have some white in there now. Now I want to put the white in at this stage because it is going to start to cool down some of those primary colours, and it's quite loose out of the tin, meaning it is quite runny, which is great. So it's going to fill up all of those gaps. So I'm going to pull this back to where I can see it and try and identify where my gaps are. So we've definitely got one here. Okay, let's get that all the way down. Now, of course, this is straight out of the can, but it's going onto canvas. It's already had thinners on it. What lies on either side of it is already paint which has got thinners on it. I'm going to let this go down. And of course, now that because the first time we've done it, what I'm also seeing is there is a weight of paint, which means that I can start to see more of the canvas starting to bow where it goes over the ridge. It goes over the drain pipe, which is quite interesting. I think that's going to have some quite profound ramifications. Right, I'm just going to stay quiet now while I try and apply this white. Okay, so I've managed to get that back where it needs to go. That's good. That's good there. Might put something on there. That white is good there. I'm going to introduce this halfway down, look. Ouch, keep hitting my head. Okay, nice. Now, the big question is here, what other colours need to go on it? Okay, so I've got that to do, that's fine. So I think we need to do some teasing. We've had our melon yellow, which has really actually been quite a surprise. That looks very nice. It's probably looking a little bit red on the camera, but I can assure you it is definitely yellow. That's cream done. Tempting, isn't it, to have a little drop of rocket red on here? Ooh. Yeah, now then. Is that something that we do? I mean, I'm a big fan. We've been using a lot of it recently. I don't know. So let's just tip that up a little bit. I'm going to need to bring gold this way as well. So I'm going to bring some gold from this direction. And I want to do one small thing as well. And I want to pull out, just starting halfway down, this burgundy chocolate. I just need to tone things down just a little bit. There we go, just over the ridge. That was it. All right, because when we turn again, this is going to come back the other way. Let's follow it down. There it goes. That's a gap filler. I'm happy with that. And then stick this way. And I'm going to do the same from the other side. Where's my gap? I've got one there. Yes, and I've got one there. So let's go. Let's go. That's going to come back. So let's just go from the ridge. Okay, this is nice. So this is adding a bit of, woody nuttiness to it. If that's even a thing, I'm sure you know what I mean. We're going to send gold back that way, which is fine. Those two are then going to feature all the way down. I'm now trying to work in reverse. Let's see if I can figure this out. So, before we send it the other way, I'm going to get my little scrapery sort of tool here. And let's see if we can pull some of this down, just to fill some of these gaps. I've got one more gap I need to deal with. That's looking pretty nice, because we're going to send this the other way, folks. And this is where the painting is going to be born. So, you've seen it up until this point. But actually, we're about now to do the painting, because it's this next one. Oh! There it goes. Right, let's bring it back up a second. See, it's all getting a bit precarious now. This edge is looking nice, but not quite right. So I'm going to do a little bit of gentle teasing here, because the volume of paint, I think, is just about right. And I'm looking carefully here as to what's going on. Okay, I need to make sure everything is where I need it, because we're going to get that gold to shift in a minute. We're getting some nice pools starting to accumulate. That's a problem I need to deal with. This is okay so far. The gold's going to go the other way. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to level this while AD's on the overhead. Yeah, that's it. Just level it. All right, and then we're going to get, because it's far easier to put the gold on like this. Let's get the gold. Look at that. Isn't that just delicious? We're going to get it up and over. And we're going to get one there as well. Oh, nearly. That's fine. That's fine. Definitely want one in there. These are the thin streaks. Most of this is going to disappear. Okay, that's going to go up and over the crest. This is nice. I don't know what that is, but I'm keeping it. The gold's going to go back that way. That's got a really nice one there. Horizon points are looking good. Just need a little drop more there. And this side, yes. And it's just this outer edge which I need to deal with, and we're going to send it back the other way. Right, let's get that blue on there. Right, so here we go, round we go. Whoa, it's all getting a bit tense now. It's all still holding up. We've still got the ridge is good. Okay, right, are we ready? Shall we just do it, buddy? Shall we turn it again? Shall we do it?
Do it! Just do it! Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it! Make your dreams come true! Nothing is impossible! No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can!
Right, where did I put my... I can see it. My wrench. Let's get this upright. That's the important thing now, so you can see it. We're really going to encourage all these colours now. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Yes, now, if I lock it there, This is where you'll really start to see all these blends and tonal shifts come out, and I've got a feeling this is going to be absolutely amazing. And of course it will have a time it needs to cure and to finish moving. Oh, the gold's doing its thing. Oh, I'll be quick because I need to spray it. This is beautiful. No special sauce involved today. Not yet, anyway. Never say never, Ed. Right, okay, let's first of all go from where it's offered a tangent. Have I got that level? Oh, is that level? Yes, that's level. Okay, right, let's just get this moving. Let's tease it. Come on over here, that's nice. The blue's mixing with the gold, that's looking sensational. Let's get the fingers in. There we go, get the fingers in, boy. And that's it, let's get that moving. That's nice, that's good. Right, what do we got over here? Gold is moving, but we've got a ridge. Right, ridge, we don't want ridges, do we? No, we don't. Let's get, apart from the one in the middle. Yeah. Let's get this moving, that's really nice. All these gaps are probably going to get filled up. And the nice thing about getting the fingers involved here is I can be very, very precise on where the paint is going to be moved to. As long as I've got it upright. That's the main thing, because I need this. I want it to be nice and linear. You know, this is all about horizons and landscapes, and why wouldn't it be? You know, we love all that kind of stuff here. Right, so we're going to get the edges dealt with. Lovely. Some of these close-ups are looking stunning, guys. I'm going to show you that very, very shortly. Just got to get a little bit of this, just make sure that I'm covering where I need to cover. Don't want any huge drips and blobs. That's nice. Up over the ridge is working really well, that actually. And then of course the decision is going to be on whether we keep it upright and see what happens with the ridges or not. And of course whether we now turn this the other way when it's all come off. Oh, so many decisions to be made now. You can see, can't you, this constant kind of whirlwind of, well, do I, don't I, and reacting to what's going on at any one point in time, which I think is part of the fun. And I don't know if Zane Taylor is watching. Hopefully you are, Zane. But we were having a conversation. Actually, Zane was kind enough to send me a WhatsApp. This is also painting as well, and about understanding the joy of the process, you know, and almost the painting almost takes care of itself when you're really, really into your process, and the actual creative side of things is, you know, almost the painting just finds itself, and it is. He's got a very, very valid point. You know, here I am, I know what I like to look at, and I know what I enjoy painting, and the physics of it and the physicality of doing something is a great joy. You know, and both Adi and myself take great joy when something works, an idea you've taken works. You have no idea where the time's disappeared to, but you just think, oh my goodness me, that is just epic. You know, when all those things work out and they all feel good and they work properly, whether anybody else notices or not, in actual fact, what you end up with is something pretty extraordinary. But I think as the creative person, there's only you who really knows that. So I use the you here in terms of Adi and myself. You know, we've both done this for so long now, we're kind of, you know, when it comes to this, we're like a single entity. I'm sure he knows what I mean by that. Okay, so we're just getting the corners done. We're just doing a little tiny bit of tidying up. Get those fingers and get the paint working. And we have got a tiny little bit that's not got anything on it there. And I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to ask Adi if he can find it. There's something interesting I just noticed here, buddy. Yeah, this in the middle. Can you see it? Kind of. Now, can you identify what that is? It's sticking up, but I'm not necessarily sure what it actually is. I just wondered if you could get a look at it. I'll stop moving the table. Just see whether you can see what that actually is. I'm going to have a look on Roam Cam in a moment, but I'm not actually sure what that is. It doesn't look like skin off the paint. We've got a foreign object in the middle here, folks. I'm not quite sure what it is, but we're a toner. Yeah, did you see me cutting my toes? Oh. That is quite funny. It does look like a hole, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so I tell you what, while you've got that shot, buddy, let me see if I can scoop it off. Let me see if I can scoop it off, eh? Here we go. It's looking at what? Oh no, I can't get it. Come on, come on. Oh, I can hear you all shouting now. Go on, Ed. Go on. You can do it. Have I got it? Have I got it? I got it. I got it. Got it. Yeah. I don't know. Bit of paint, I think. Bit of dried paint, almost. You know, if you, yeah, dried white paint. Very odd. Okay, right. So let's have a look. Have we still got stuff coming off at the bottom? Yes, we have. That's pretty good. So AD says, what is it? And I say, it's a masterpiece. There you go, folks. Now, just before we call that a day, here's the $64,000 question. Do I now switch it back the other way for one final run the other way? Or, if I don't, do I flatten it and make it level so as we actually see what the ridge is doing? So I tell you what, let's flatten it out. Okay, so there's a very posh wigwam tent. That's what it looks like. Let's give that a rotate. All right, because I'm very interested to see what happens if we kind of just left it for a moment. There we go, got the other end now where I want it. If I could flatten that out a little bit, maybe like that, just to see what happens if it starts to do this. Which of course is always the hope that, you know, we'll put that in the center, you know, to produce an effect. And we've never ever done this before, so of course this is quite interesting. Now, of course, what this also does is allow me to check some of the blank spaces. Definitely got one there, so I'm going to get something into there. Now, what did I do? I think I'm just going to put a little splash of white in there because it's just begging for it, just to lighten that up a little bit. I'll come over to the bench and grab myself just a little soups on a white. Oh, there we go. Yes, right. This should be interesting. So I need to go up and over, don't I? Apart from that, the rest of it's covered and looking really, really smart. Okay. Right, fine. So I can give this a proper visual now and just make absolutely sure that I'm really not missing anything. Now, interestingly, there are a couple of bits and pieces, so as luck would have it, I can resolve that, can't I? Of course I can. And there's a bit here, so let's sort that out. We're going to give it a run in with the fingers. Fingers rock. Okay. Most underestimated painting tool, in my opinion. Rest of them, I think, unless you guys can tell me otherwise, that's looking pretty good. Oh, here. Yes, I can see it here, yeah? Yeah. That's it. AD just saying that he could see the gold, yeah, and there, look. It's just a little bit. Always anxious to get all the bits of the canvas covered. Now, I have gone slightly longer because we're going over that ridge in the centre. So that's absolutely fine. All this is going to get covered up by being stretched around the corner of the frame, but hey-ho. Let's just get it moving anyway. Best while we're here. Everything else looks pretty good, actually. I'm really happy with that. So now we do come to the crunch. Right. The crunch. Which way up does it go? I think we've got to turn it that way now, which is the last. That way. Let's get the white to straighten itself out. It's easy for you to say, Ed. Now that's going to go again. So, pretty sure I had my spanner but a few moments ago. Yes, I can see where it is. Okay, here we go. Right, let's just straighten that out. There we go. Right, now that side, let's go and fix it that side. Yeah, please do let us know in the messages or the comments if you've got any questions. We always love to answer them. And yeah, I think that was definitely the right thing to do. Yes, because of course it's starting to move from the other side now. That's great. Need to get another spray. Now I'll tell you something quite interesting from a spraying point of view. Historically, when you do this, the canvas, if you put too much on, the canvas can start to warp and it starts to twist, you know, because you're basically introducing a liquid to a fabric. And of course, it probably doesn't take a genius to work out what happens when you do that. But to that end, because we've got such a tight stretch over the pipe in the center, I'm actually not getting that problem on this occasion, which is what I was hopeful for. So, you know, we should maintain a fairly wrinkle-free canvas as this dries. As it starts to come the other way, actually across the center now, that's really interesting. We've got some drips across the center, but that's fine. But I need to make sure they're coaxed and moved where they need to be. It's very much like the surface of a planet, this, isn't it? Something you might see on some interesting sci-fi program. Right, just need to change the gloves. Now, of course, you can also see that the floor is doing its own things as well. So I'm going to get Roam Cam now, and I'm going to show you what's happening on the floor. That's also extremely curious as well. Just give me a second, just to change my gloves over. Now, Adie's having a zoom in on the overhead, but I am going to show you on Roam Cam exactly what that looks like. I'm keeping a very, very close eye on drips here. Okay, right, here we go on Roam Cam then, folks. And this is the floor. Look, this is what's happened. All the paint has come off. It's a couple of canvases put together. There's some very, very interesting things going on. This is organic painting at its very best. And look, oh, there's some extraordinary things going on there. Now, of course, we do this from time to time. Of course, we do on the live stream. Oh yeah, you can see it really coming off there, can't you? But tonight is all about the lines and the linear and horizons and that kind of thing, which is what we wanted to have a go at. But that's very interesting. Look, still dripping there. I don't know if we can get, yeah, here it comes. There you go. There's another drip going in. 3, 2, well, there it goes. Look. So even that in itself is interesting. Isn't it wonderful what nature can do and physics? And here we're looking at the bottom side now, things still moving. Here's what I'm interested about though, folks. You can see the drips eventually start to slow down. And what I don't want is this to be full of horizontal drips as they dry and don't find their way to the sort of end point. So what I need to do now, this is the really crucial part, is to make sure that if this is how it stays, then that we avoid that. And this is the decision, or whether it goes back to a horizontal. Yeah, very, very, very tricky to know. I will debate. In fact, let's bring Adie back onto the discussion. Let's have a little chat, because or you guys can see it from a unique perspective. I'm sure you're telling me in the chat now what I should be doing. What do you think there, buddy?
Oh, my mic not working? Oh, it is.
Oh, it is working, yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the one thing that people probably don't realise. Oh, just got to take the headset off because I'm echoing in my own ear. Is the temperature in there? That's causing that to dry quite quickly, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, it is. It is drying quickly, yeah.
So that's giving you a bit of a problem as to what you do, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and Adie's absolutely right. It is starting to coagulate in places where I would normally, even with this amount of thinners on, probably be in a situation where I've got a little bit more work time with it. But it doesn't feel like I've got that on this occasion. So I'm tempted now to give it a spray for its life and let it kind of run. Here's my thought process behind the leaving it in a horizontal. Whilst the tube would be a lot of fun to leave there and see what happens, I suspect that all we'll get is a little bit of build-up of drips, maybe here and here, both sides. And I don't imagine, actually, that we'd get anything else. So what do you think?
Spray it, like you said, heavily,
yeah,
and then sit it flat. Have a look at it for a few minutes.
All right, we can do that.
And then make a decision.
All right. Okay. Did everybody hear that, or were you off mic? You were on. That's fine. No, I didn't. No, that's fine. Didn't know if you're still on mic. Great. So we'll do what Adie suggested. That's a great idea. So there you go. So I'm going to put that back to the horizontal, and I think I'm going to, yeah, let's give the center the spray and see if anything. We'll give that a couple of moments and see if that starts to do anything. So let me get back on the platform. You know, we've come this far, haven't we? So we need to find out whether this has any merit down the center. And we are experimenting. Well, it is starting to move. It is starting to move. Now, if this doesn't work or I'm not happy with it, I can always move it to a vertical position. I'm just going to fill my bottle up again. eventually, if I can get the lid up. There we go. So we'll give that a proper spray. I don't mind how much spray goes on this because most of it's going to come off anyway. You know, the colour combination is strong. That's the most important thing because we're so led by colour, aren't we? You know, colour and shape. So this is about getting the shaping correctly. The colour is absolutely delicious. It's very cool. It's calm. It's confident. It's collected. Yeah, I love the way those colours are starting to really interact and play with each other now. What's interesting, look, we've got a separation on the gold. That's quite interesting. Yeah, so up here, we've definitely got a separation. Let me come over into the centre. Now, probably on most of the others, I won't get that. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's going, mate. It's going. Yeah, that's really interesting. So this is where the pipe now really starts to come out. So that's had a spray all the way along. Oh, there's definitely movement. It's definitely happening, mate. Yeah. Now what I'm worried about is, of course, then we'll start to see the canvas through. Oh, man, this is uber tricky. Yeah, so this is very, very... I suppose if I think about it now, it's to be expected, isn't it? That's what you do when you spray the top. So definitely no more thinners on that. I know I can see the weave of the canvas. Now, as I suspected, as the paint moves, I don't know if you can see this on the back side, we are starting to get the drips forming, as I thought we would. And of course, as it starts to filter out and get the angle becomes more shallow, there's less likelihood that the drips are going to move anywhere until they reach a point where they're just going to stop. So I think, yes, all this is going to do is take paint out of the centre and give us drips both sides. I think we've kind of proved that to ourselves just by doing that. So we'll just give that another moment or two because I want to make sure that the theory I'm just running through in my head is borne out. So you can see the black and white drip now. I mean, don't get me wrong, very interesting. But is that something, do I want those drips to remain? And that's the question I have to ask myself. Even though that's got quite an interesting effect. Actually, if I look at it from sort of this way, it really is quite like trippy when you're looking at it. So you can just see the canvas showing through now, yeah, on the black and white, which is interesting. And you can see what's happening on the other side now as it starts to fall away. It's just now, am I happy with that? And is that what I want to achieve for the painting? And it's tricky, isn't it? And I wish I knew what everybody thought. I think I know what I'm going to do. Obviously, we need to test this theory because that's the whole point of having the pipe in there anyway. But I think on balance, this may have to go upright just to avoid the dribbles, if you like, even though that's a really interesting effect. Here's what I think we'll probably do at some point is make this a much bigger one maybe, or put several of these points in, and then we're going to redefine things further still. And like everything, guys, the whole point of this is that we are experimenting. You know, we're never ever afraid to have a go. We like to do this kind of thing. It's what we do, and we like to do it in front of you guys so everybody can see, you know, quite what goes into doing this when you're doing it on this kind of scale, you know, and level. So I tell you what, let's pop this way, see how much is going to move. I think this has got to be probably our last turn now. Now, what can you see, mate? Ada just said that's interesting. What have you seen? Yeah, come onto microphone, mate.
I'm not sure if the guys can see what I can see, but it almost looks like the lines are being bent by the centre and parted open in certain places. The yellow looks like it's sort of bending. That first one closest to you.
Ah, this, yes. I get it.
You go to the next line, you can actually see the white opening
Yes.
up.
Yes.
And then you go beyond that, and you've got the line going thinner, then you have a wider cream, I think that is, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. And you can see this, it's parting on that centre. It's opening.
Fascinating. Yes, I see that. I see that. In which case, should I... It's an impossible call, isn't it? What do you do? What do you do for the best now? Ah, goodness me. Ah, wish I had a crystal ball. Yes, I see exactly that, dude. Now, if I leave it, of course, that's going to get covered up, isn't it? And they're just going to become lines. And of course, it's difficult because I can't really see that from this angle. So let me just pop it that way. I'm going to come around and have a look. And now you could be right. Actually, that could be the bit that you've just said that makes me go, no, leave it. Which could be a real, like, shot in the dark. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what then, buddy. I'll tell you what. We're just getting some paint coming back over the ridge. So we'll let that coat itself. Okay. And then I'll flatten it and we'll leave it flat. And then we've got to have a go at it, haven't we? We've got to have a go. Do you agree? Because your what you said about it sort of fanning out, I think it could look particularly awesome. So we'll give it enough chance to get some paint back over where I just thinned it, and that will allow me to thin it once more, if that's if that makes sense.
But this is all about experimentation. The guys that are watching now, they know that this is what we do. We try the stuff that other people won't. It's going to cost us in canvas, it's going to cost us in paint if it goes wrong, but if you don't try it, how do you ever know? And if we suddenly find a patination that looks incredible, which is what I'm hoping we're going to do, then it'll be worth it. If we don't, we'll try something else. I'll build something and we'll try it again.
Okay, cool. So we'll just give that a second. Okay, so what we're doing now, folks, we're just letting that rest over the ridge, just to give the ridge, allow it to come back over again. Okay. It's great fun watching paint dry, isn't it? I just need to deal with these drips. The drips have got to go. Let's get rid of the drips. Come on, Ed, let's get rid of them. You can do it. So it is starting to get a bit sticky in here. The paint's getting sticky because of the temperatures. So we're in unusual territory here. I mean, we've been here before. We've been here a long time, but you still have to react to everything as it happens. No, it's not going to stay. Oh, sugar. Ah. Okay, we got it. I got it. All right, let's level him up. Oh dear, heart attack time.
Oh, blimey, live. So we weren't editing anything out.
Oh,
Scared me after death then.
Scared you after death. I think everybody online now is just drinking a collective sharp intake of breath. Right, okay, I think that might be our cue then to level it up. I think so. So yeah, okay, let's level it. Let's find out what happens now.
I think that's destiny telling you.
I think it is. So that's it. that is level now, folks. All right. So we're going to let nature do its thing now. It's had plenty of thinners on it. I'm not going to touch it again now. I think it'd be wise to leave it alone because anything else I do now could destroy it. And in actual fact, what we've done with, I'm going to show you now on Roam Cam. Don't think the broadcast is over just yet. I can't let you go because I'm going to show you what's happening as we speak. This is the fun. We're all having fun watching paint dry. Can you believe that? You should tweet that out. I'm having the best time watching paint dry. Let's go Roam Cam in 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go see around this side what we've got, hey folks, because some magical things are starting to happen. Let's look at the ridge first of all. You can see as the light catches it, and what Adi said 5 minutes ago is absolutely true. It's starting almost to split, sort of open, which is very interesting. And we're getting all these kind of very, very interesting blends going in now. I know where we start to lose paint, you can see the weave of the canvas, but I'm not worried about that at all. Because in some places it's there, and look at that, particularly in the blue. In other places it isn't. Hopefully you're seeing the ridge of light across the top where it's catching the overheads. So it is going to change on that fulcrum point, which is right dead center. And as we start to come down, and I'm going to hit the orange, the yellow here, and we come down, and we see what's happening here with the gold, the way it's mixed with the lime green. That's looking awesome, the way it's catching the light. But we are going to get a stop point around about here, so I'm just hopeful that I've got the right amount of thinners on it so that it doesn't create huge blobs. And if it creates huge blobs, it creates huge blobs. I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? This is life at the cutting edge. Let's go back over here to where we had the black. Now, the black was very strong when we first came in with it, and now how much that's toned itself down with the inclusion of gold on one side. We've got an undercurrent of blue going on, and then we've got all these smoky vapor trails which look amazing as it's hit the cream. And as we come into the gorgeous rich purple, these seams just starting to poke their way through. And there, look at that line, the way it's mixing with the black. Extraordinary things going on. There's no special sauce. This is all organically driven by the paints and just standard thinners. That is it. This is why the paints are so incredible. And you've got all of these tiny little nuances going on all over the painting. I'm going to come around the front now. Made a huge mess on the floor. But let's go and have a look at this side. And there we can see in a little bit more detail now as we go up towards the ridge. There we go. Hopefully you can see that now from the other side. And in many places it's beautiful and it's subtle and it's intricate. And in other places you get this dense peppering of colour that just strikes through. It's almost looking like some kind of, I don't know, satellite thing that the International Space Station, that's easy for you to say, would send back to us. There, look, that was that maroony, purpley, chocolatey colour, which is just one of these amazing colours that seems to tick every box. You know, it matches with the purple, but it also brings a little bit of softness to the black, and then it's just wave upon wave upon wave of these incredible kind of horizon points. It almost looks like looking at some alternative Jupiter. I might have said that already, guys, but it really is extraordinary. And of course, now we've done something completely different, because we put a great big pipe down the center of it. And even now as we speak, there it is. Look, it is, as Adi predicted, starting to kind of dissolve itself. It's getting pushed down. So far, I have to say, I can't find any drips. So I'm going to literally keep these crossed for a few days and hope and pray that that remains a thing. I really do, because if it does stay like this, I will be extraordinarily pleased with that. And there we go, folks. So I'm going to let's give you a shot from over there. I'm not going to now move it because I do want it to do its thing and to settle. I think if we were going to do this as an experiment, this is it, isn't it? This is how we leave it. And there it is, guys. Can you make a work of art using a piece of drain pipe? And I think, guttering. And I think the overwhelming response to that is, yes, you can. Oh my goodness me. Well, how about that on our live, nearly live, almost live broadcast? I really hope you enjoyed that. It's something different. We're trying a different technique yet again. This is the whole point of doing it. I really hope you've enjoyed that. I'm sure that by now my fingers are on fire, having typed a load of responses to your comments. Thank you so much for being part of the stream this evening. We're sorry we can't do a mountain of shout-outs, but we are recording this 24 hours beforehand, and I'm sure I'll have put that into the messages so that anyone joining onto the stream will already know. So anyway, let's give a shout-out to... I'll just insert your name into the comments. How about that? At least we managed to get around you. Oh, goodness me. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's life at the cutting edge in an extremely warm environment. Oh, dear. Ed's going to give you a quick overhead shot. I can't wait to get rehydrated again. But there you go, folks. That's it. We've done something again that we've never, ever done before. You know, we're not trying to raise the Titanic and we're not trying to fly to Mars. But what we are trying to do is something new every time. And I think you'll agree, even though we've done line paintings before, never something quite as enriched and with a lot of movement as this one. So again, another different angle into the lines and the stripes, which we hope you really enjoyed. Just leaves me to say a big thank you to my colleagues sat out in sweltering conditions outside, pressing all the buttons. Thank you very much, buddy, for doing that. That's awesome. We hope you have a very great rest of the day, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, and whoever you're with. The most important thing is that you stay safe, and we hope, fingers crossed, weather not permitting, that it's cool enough to do a live broadcast this time in a week's time, which is what I'm sure we will be doing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. Remember, you can get your awesome t-shirts. Go treat yourself. They're in every single size under the sun. I'll pop another link to that into the messages. Thank you to all our patrons. Thank you to all our supporters, those of you who joined new tonight, and also those of you who've watched this before. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You should give yourselves a round of applause. But just leaves us to say thank you for watching. Have a great week. We'll see you soon. Please like, share and subscribe. Catch you next time. See you later. Goodbye.